Hey everyone, welcome back to DeathCloud. Today we're checking out the brand new Setback from Old Blood Noise Endeavors. Their most in-depth reverse effect pedal. If you're into reverse delays, warped textures, pitch shifted ambience, or just pedals that completely change the way you play, this thing is wild and this thing is for you. So let's go ahead, let's get it unboxed, let's dive in, let's talk about it. So Setback is a real-time reverse effect device focused entirely around reversing your signal and reshaping it in creative ways. This pedal builds on ideas from older Old Blood Noise pedals such as the BL44 reverse, but it expands them massively with stereo operation, presets, MIDI, tap tempo, quantized pitch shifting, quantized clock-based fidelity control, X, Y, and Z, it's got it all. And much deeper timing options. Now, what makes Setback different from a traditional reverse delay is that the reverse processing itself becomes the instrument. You don't just hear echoes backwards, you interact with constantly changing reverse textures. All right, now that we've got Setback on the table, ready to go, let's go ahead and get it unboxed. We've got that beautiful packaging from the one and only Old Blood Noise Endeavors, and of course, some more beautiful packaging from them. They've been on their A game recently. Now, if you want to go ahead, follow along for the instruction manual, you can go ahead and either scan this QR code. It'll be in the description of the page for this video, and it's also on the product page on DeathCloud. Now let's go ahead and get it unboxed. We'll set it here for now. Comes with a pretty cool Setback sticker, another Old Blood Noise sticker. Comes with a Old Blood Noise pin in nice Daphne blue, and can't go wrong with an Old Blood Noise pick in black and pink. So let's go ahead, get this pedal out of its pedal sock. Let's get it undressed, pretty scandalous, and get it showcased for you guys. This is Setback in all of its glory. So let's go over the different parameters we have here real quick. We've got the stereo in and out. Stereo, of course, I already said that, but out. So in, out, stereo. You don't need stereo for this, but we've got MIDI, we've got expression here, 9-volt DC in, and then on the front of the pedal, we have got, of course, your speed knob, mix knob, division knob, clock knob. We have this little black button here to show these LEDs, which preset we're on. This is going to be the auxiliary foot switch and the on-off foot switch. So got a quick rundown. Let's go ahead and talk about the parameters in depth. So first up, let's talk about this speed knob here. Now, the speed knob changes the playback speed of the reverse signal, which also changes the pitch. You can go from octave down textures all the way up to octave up shimmer style sounds. This is one of the controls that completely changes the personality of the pedal. Next up, we have right down here in the middle, this mix knob. Now, the mix knob controls your, of course, dry to wet balance. Lower settings keep your signal original, playing up front, while higher settings fully immerse you in the reverse effect. Pretty standard for a mix knob. The division knob, now, that of course controls the rhythmic subdivisions for the reverse repeats. It has everything and everywhere between 16th notes, triplets, dotted eighths, quarter notes, and longer divisions even as well. This makes Setback incredibly playable in tempo-based setups. Really, really important for modern day rigs. Lastly, the last knob here, we have the clock knob. So the clock knob is probably the coolest control on this pedal. This adjusts the sample rate, meaning it changes both the fidelity of the signal and available reverse time. So at higher settings, things sound cleaner, a little tighter, a little more articulate. As you lower it though, the signal becomes more degraded, lo-fi, and stretched out. So moving on to the foot switches, right here we have the auxiliary foot switch. Now, the auxiliary foot switch can be assigned to tap tempo, the feedback, like the runaway feedback, or preset switching. And honestly, the runaway feedback mode is where this pedal gets really fun. So Setback also has alternate controls. Now, mostly it has to do with volume adjustment and timing control. So even though the pedal looks streamlined, simple, easy to use, there's a lot happening under the hood, which is what makes Setback such a fun and fantastic reverse delay pedal. So now that we've talked about the parameters, the controls, everything to do with Setback, before we get started, let's go ahead, let's get it plugged in, let's hear some clean sounds, and let's go ahead and hear some settings of Setback. So now that we have Setback plugged in, ready to go, let's go ahead and get some clean sounds started, just as a sample. So I'm running a Jennings Voyager Deluxe humbuckers, and I'm using the Walrus Audio ACS1 with a JMI, I think on the left side, and then a Fender Deluxe, Hot Rod Deluxe on the right side, I think. But Vox in a Fender. So let's get some quick clean sounds for you guys. So now that we got a sample of the clean sound, let's go ahead and get you guys your first sample setting of Setback. So we'll go ahead and start off. Let's do speed around noon o'clock. We'll do the mix around, there's 50. Let's bring it down to 40. And then of course, let's bring the division to quarter notes. At least I think they're quarter notes. For the clock, let's bring it up a little bit and get it around 2 o'clock. Turn on the pedal, make sure everything's good to go. And let's take a gander. So here we go. So what we're seeing here is a more traditional side of Setback. Traditional reverse delay trails. They're nice and smooth, musical, and the higher clock setting keeps it fairly hi-fi and keeps it clean and articulate. But that was really cool. Let's go ahead and go on to the next setting. So next up, I want to bring the speed up a little bit more, the mix, change the division, and we'll play around with that clock. So let's bring the clock down to about noon, kind of see how it sounds at its best, I would say. The mix will bring it up a little bit like we said, speed will bring it up a little bit more like we said, and then let's make it a little bit faster. Let's do that dotted 8th division, and let's go ahead and give it a gander. So now we're introducing a lot more pitch movement with the speed control. The repeats start feeling less like delay and more like harmonized textures floating behind your playing. It's almost acting like its own instrument, which is why Setback is such a flexible and unique reverse delay. Unlike what's out there on the market, Setback really distinguishes itself here. So next up, we're gonna go ahead and play around with Setback in one of my favorite ways. We're gonna make it sound a little bit more like a degraded reverse chaos, lo-fi reverse delay. So we'll bring the speed down a little bit to 10 o'clock. The mix is, we're gonna bring up a little bit more to about 65%, 70%, bring it to triplet divisions, and then the clock, I want to keep it pretty low to give it that more lo-fi feel. So let's go ahead and stop talking and hear how it sounds. So, lowering the clock dramatically really changes the character of this pedal, and everything becomes darker, grainier, more degraded. It sounds so weird, almost like a broken tape machine reversing itself in real time. I don't know of a pedal that can do something like that, but it's really cool to see how this pedal interacts with your playing. So, next up, what I want to go ahead and do is I want to use an expression controller with the Setback. So we're going to be using the old Blood Noise Endeavor's expression ramper. What it's doing is it's cycling back between heel and toe with the speed knob, creating almost a effect where it feeds back into itself super fast, kind of like it's stuttering. So super excited to try this. We're gonna put speed, we've already got the speed set up, so we won't touch that. The mix, we're gonna bring it up, we'll bring it back a little bit, and then we will bring it down to triplets on the division, and then let's go ahead and we'll keep the clock where it's at. I like how the clock sounds right now. It's lo-fi-esque, but it keeps it articulate enough for you to be able to hear and understand some of the repeats. So let's give it a gander, shall we? So here you go. And with some reverb, so this one was probably my favorite if the lo-fi one wasn't already. This creates really organic pitch movements where the trails feel like they're breathing and evolving real time as I play, especially when I add reverb. It kind of just loses itself in the reverb, and the reverb just kind of starts piling on more and more. The reverse delay in this is so usable, and I love how it sounds. It's so much fun. So Setback feels like old Blood Noise taking everything they've learned about reverse processing and putting it into one focused, performance-ready pedal. And honestly, what I love about this and what it can do is its beautiful ambient reverse textures, warped lo-fi degradation, rhythmic reverse delays, and full-on experimental chaos. And because it includes that stereo in and out, presets, MIDI, expression control, and tap tempo, it actually integrates really well into most modern rigs despite how experimental it sounds. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions about Setback or you want to get Setback for yourself today, feel free, click the link in the description, get yourself Setback and have some fun with some experimental reverse tones. Now, if you liked the video, you want to see more, feel free, subscribe, click the like button. That way you can keep seeing more of what's coming next at DeathCloud. And as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.